Hello, everyone, and welcome to Innovator Insights. This is the podcast where we interview successful consumer product entrepreneurs and learn about their journey, how they went from their initial idea to building a product and a company that has a real impact on the world. And today we're super excited to have Morgan Keenan with us. He is the founder and president of Cudaway, a premium knife company for culinary knives. He's also the co-founder of Empress of Ghee, a new exciting CPG brand that I look forward to learning more about. So without further ado, welcome to the show, Morgan.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're excited to have you here. And you're up, before we get into the business stuff, tell us a little bit about where you are and what you do when you're not working.
So I'm out in Montana. When I'm not working. Love to hunt, love to ski, a lot of things in the backcountry. And very much take advantage of where I live. That's kind of the most important thing to me. So I kind of built my business around being able to do all those activities out here.
That's awesome. It looks like, looking at your profile, it's not, you didn't grow up there, right? You started in tech, and then you became a teacher, and then you became a product entrepreneur. Can you tell us a little bit about the journey?
Yeah, totally. So I'm from North Carolina. I always wanted to start a business. I think that was just kind of something that my dad really instilled in me when I was really young. Mm-hmm. And I really latched onto. He's always like, I remember, being like probably third or fourth grade, and he was talking to me one night before I was going to sleep, and he's like, Morgan, there's two types of people in this world. There's followers and there's leaders. He's like, you're a leader.
That's like, awesome.
Figure out a way to work for yourself. He's an entrepreneur, and he very much, I followed his journey obviously my whole life, and then, it was just.
And what kind of entrepreneur was he?
Inspiration. Factory automation.
Oh,
so
okay.
He would, automate assembly lines and figure out ways to improve efficiencies.
Okay, so you've grown up in the manufacturing world since early days.
Yeah. I've always loved manufacturing and making something tangible.
Yeah.
I was originally moving out to Oregon to start a different business called Backyard Farmers, and raised a little bit of money, but not enough to make it a reality. And anyhow, I was taking dirt bikes across the country with my brother to get there. I ended up, long story short, it's called the Trans-American Trail, but it's primarily all off-road, double track from North Carolina to Oregon. And camped out for like 5 weeks. I was ripping up a logging road, long story short, and I sent my bike off a cliff going like 80.
Jeez.
And I was completely okay, but my bike, it was like I ended up launching off like 80 to 100 feet. My bike tomahawked like 20 times, so it was totaled. We ended up going back to Moab.
So you weren't, no broken bones or anything?
No, it's totally fine. It's a total miracle, very light concussion, but I blacked out, and but that's kind of expected. And took some of the straps off a soft bag on my one of my luggage bags that was on my Enduro, and then on my brother's, and he towed me back to Moab. My buddy Connor that was with us towed me, and. Long story short, my brother and Connor continue up the trail. I got a job as a bartender, and 2 days into my first job, I was camping in the back of this chick's trailer park. I got a job as a bartender in 2 days. After my second shift, I ended up blowing my ACL skateboarding, and it was just a total mess. I hitchhiked down to Arizona, got a flight back to North Carolina. Got ACL surgery and a job in sales. I hated it, but I was pretty good at it, saved some cash. And 6 months after surgery, I quit, got another bike, and then took that up to Alaska. And I always knew that, I was going to figure out a business to start that was relatively low lift. I just wanted to do something of my own, but most importantly, I just had to, at that phase of my life, was really trying to just move west. And always had this fascination with Alaska. Alaska wasn't quite what I expected. I loved it. I was, a raft guide for a summer. I thought I was going to stay there long term. Ended up moving to Jackson, Wyoming. I had always been fascinated with also like making things. I had studied ceramics in college, metalworking. So when I moved to Jackson, Wyoming, mainly just to be a ski bum, was building some houses, ended up getting a job as a knife maker. Became head knife maker for a company down there. Very much loved it, but I wanted to have my own gig.
So what does that mean, head knife maker?
Head knife maker. I was like running, production and just I guess head knife maker.
So the whole manufacturing floor were reporting to you.
Basically,
yeah.
It was kind of honestly, it was more a title I just kind of gave myself. I was like the senior knife maker, so I just kind of was like, all right. So there was Discovery Channel or something that was coming in to film a show on us, and I introduced myself as head knife maker. So it was like the first one. But anyhow, so I moved up to Bozeman after a couple years to start my business, Cudaway, and that was in 2020.
So what was the
very abridged version?
Yeah, that was amazing. We could talk for hours about all that stuff. So these were motorbikes, like off-road motorbikes that you were riding?
Yeah, they're KLR 650s. My brother and I grew up, riding moto, and I just have always loved dirt bikes. So it's a heavier, like single-cylinder 650 thumper, very capable off-road bike, but it's it's an enduro, so it was built for long journeys and very simplistic engine, so very easy to rebuild if something happens. So we planned that out, and right after we graduated, we started riding on the Trans-American Trail. It was super cool.
That's awesome. What an exciting journey.
Yeah, it was an amazing chapter for sure.
So we circle back maybe if we have time, but let's focus on Cudaway for a while. So you're learning the trade, working as a head knife maker for 3 years or so, I think. So does the idea come to you there that this is what I want to do? I think
I kind of always knew that I was going to start my own show. After a couple years, also I was living in Jackson, Wyoming, and it's an amazing place to live, but it's so difficult, realistically. Unless you're a trust funder, it's almost impossible to make it work long term. So anyhow, I knew that I wanted to have my own shop. I took a lot of pride in working with my hands. I was also teaching ceramic classes there, which I very much enjoyed, but it doesn't pay the bills. And so I just I made it a mission to, start my brand up in Bozeman.
Yeah. And you always knew that you were going to make them yourself? Yeah.
Totally. That's where the pride and joy really comes from is, American manufacturing, and it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but there's a big gap between, production knives you'll see in Target and custom knives. So I was kind of bridging that gap with handmade, super high quality. I didn't really even settle on a price point of my knives until I had the best materials and I figured out, all my production methods, and then I was like, then I'll just assign a cost based on the margins, what they have to be. And so my knives are a bit more expensive, but it's super important to me that we use the best steel, the best handle material. I could talk all day. If we have time on the podcast, I'll talk more about the materials we use themselves, but first-rate materials is the most important thing. And then also making, I have a lot of pride in making them myself, and having my knife makers make them. But
So how did you get started? How do you? Because I think most consumer product companies in the U.S. they kind of start with a brand and marketing and maybe a product concept, and then often make it overseas. But you had to build your own manufacturing.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, this wasn't my first stab at starting a business. I've tried to start a couple others. And so many times, first off, whenever you're trying to reinvent the wheel, it's a total headache. I had this dog leash company that we got through prototype phase. And honestly, it it's a great idea, but it's basically a retractable leash that lives on the dog collar. Now there's another company that's doing it too, but anyhow, it takes so long to make a product that I wanted to start with something I was familiar with. Making knives is not rocket science. I love working with my hands, so honestly, I really took advantage of just markets. Anything I could do that was free, that I could set up a booth at and talk to people and showcase my product. So I started it very, very lean, and would hit all the farmers markets in the summer and hustle there, and a lot of free events because I didn't have, my dad is my business partner. He gave me a loan, but it was, I didn't have like a marketing budget, and it was very much bootstrapping it.
Yeah. What kind of manufacturing equipment did you need?
So we have a forge in the shop. These are primarily stock removal knives, meaning we cut out all of our blanks, heat treat them, and then hand grind, hand shape everything. So grinders, dust collection. We need. There's like basically all the equipment that you need is like a CNC, which doesn't come cheap. So it's something, first it starts out, you're hand shaping all of your handle material, hand grinding all of your steel, all of that. And then slowly you can add some automation in to, improve efficiencies. But CNC table, a couple grinders, really nice dust collection, and and then all the general tools that you have in the shop. A lot of workbenches, architecture paper for drawing out, prototyping, 3D printer. My business partner Duncan is an extremely talented 3D CAD guy, so 3D modeling, imaging, all that we do.
Yeah, cool. So what was the first product? The very first
product is a product that we still make. I think I just nailed it with this knife design. It's called the Sanrock 7, but it's a 7-inch Santoku, which actually I have an old one on my desk. This is an old prototype. I didn't even expect to bring to the show, but essentially this is our flagship knife. It has an inverted heel, this section, so that when you're chopping, like a pinch grip, you're right above the cutting edge, which is super nice. Another thing, it's kind of nice I have this displayed, I have to show you, but our knives are extremely simplistic. So really, really clean, just an onion icon on one side, Cudaway on the other. No plunge lines. This is all hand ground. This transition is just completely seamless. It's all the small aspects that make a product really, really good, I guess, in a sense. It's like Apple. If it's something that's designed really well, you don't notice it right away, but once you're using it for some time, you realize what doesn't add up to, or like, how superior this product is and what other products are lacking.
I got to buy one and try it out. I mean, I've become quite the barbecue enthusiast here the last few years since COVID. So I smoke a lot of meat now, and you got that. You get either the ribs or the brisket coming out, and you got to have a great knife, to cut through the bark without messing up anything, and it's such a great feeling when you do, it's
absolutely
something.
Yeah. We've got a new barbecue knife you'll have to check out, the 9 Mile.
Yeah. Cool. So you make you make a batch of knives. Did you make one? And then it sounds like initially you were just selling it at farmers markets.
Oh yeah.
Sort of getting feedback.
I would make a batch of like 20. I have production pretty ironed out, and that was like super early on, but make like 20 knives. I wanted, to really hone in on consistency. And granted, I had been, working in a production shop for years, so I knew the game pretty well. But anyhow, and then I would go to a market and sell them out, figure out what colors were selling better than others. I just wanted to really hone in on the beauty of simplicity. I feel like there's a lot of times people overcomplicate things, even like going back just to the engraving on a knife. You know, it's like all of these knives are made in my shop here in Montana. All of our materials come from within the U.S., but you know, it's like I don't want to be the company that has to tell everything about us. You know, it's like on the product itself. So I don't have made in the U.S., all this stuff, you know, all over it. I take immense pride in making it in the U.S., but I don't want to take away from the aesthetic of the product.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
those were things
Yeah,
that
they're
we tested at the
beautiful
fair.
knives.
Thank you.
Tell me about your logo.
The logo is a very simplistic onion.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
When I was starting the company, I just wanted a name and an icon that was like simplistic, you know, gave us a corner of the internet for searchability, and I realized like nobody, you know, so I made up a word, Cudaway. I didn't put too much thought into it, and I wanted an icon that is a core staple of your kitchen.
Yeah.
So you know the onion certainly stood out,
Yeah.
and then I wanted to make it kind of like a topo map. But honestly, I didn't put too much thought in getting it caught up in the design of it. I thought I nailed it pretty early on, so I was like, oh, that'll do. And then
I think it's
focus on all
awesome.
the other aspects. Thanks. Starting the business.
I mean, it's unique, it's distinct. It's, you know, it's not something that you plugged it into one of these AI tools that would come out with an onion, right? It's like,
Yeah, totally. Thank you. Yeah, I started this before the AI really boom.
yeah,
It's like I feel like that's one of the things that entrepreneurs nowadays get caught up in is like obviously AI has a true amazing role in, you know, streamlining your processes, but it can also be a total detriment if you get too reliant upon it. The human creative process is so important that starting a business, it's like the wording on your website, you have to really think that through and build it out, and you know, build out your brand kit yourself without the use of AI. Because if you use AI to build out your brand kit, you get too lost in the sauce and you know who you are, your identity as a company. I think it's super important that there's right and wrong ways to utilize AI. And I feel like
absolutely.
a lot of people get caught up in that.
No question, it's super powerful. But also, you're seeing increasingly there's a lot of AI slop and a lot of, you know, copy that you can just when you read it, just you can just tell. It's like,
I don't even respond to AI emails unless it's somebody that's really important that I have to respond to, and then I tell them also, like, and when I'm in person, like, hey, dude, stop using AI to write your emails. Like, nobody's going to take that seriously.
So true. So you're a little over 5.5 years into Cudaway. Give us just a little bit of overview of how it's grown. So initially it was just you. You made 20 knives on your own, and you know what does the company look like today?
Yeah, I mean, it was just me. I met my business partner, Duncan, relatively early on. And for a while, he was totally working for free. Just totally, you know, really, so I gave him a little bit of equity, and, you know, he would just come in because he enjoyed making knives and thought what I was doing was cool. So anyhow, he jumped on the team. And then we've got a couple knife makers. It's like everything is slowly kind of just scaling at once. It's a rocky road. The first couple of years are super tough. You know, it's also cash flow in the knife industry can be tough because you're buying large quantities of materials at once. It's like there's a huge gap between being a custom knife maker where you're making a couple knives a week and being a production company. There aren't too many in between. So it's like as a production company, it's like, you know, I'll drop a ton of cash on handle material and steel and everything, you know, to, you know, make a batch. And then all of a sudden it was like the hardships of every time we add another knife into the mix, it's like 7 additional SKUs with all of our handle materials. So it's like all of a sudden we've got, you know, 30 something SKUs, and we have to get steel for one knife. So we're ordering, you know, we'll drop a ton of money on that, and just managing cash flow was always an issue early on, but breaking through that was huge. And yeah, I guess kind of where we are today, it's the shop is always running. We've got guys in there just cranking out blades that take a lot of pride in it. Threw a skate ramp up top to maintain some company culture and give guys a break. But
Yeah.
yeah, just a lot of running machines and a lot of
Yeah.
shipping, and then figuring out how everything scales to continuously build up and improve all of our processes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an outdoorsy bunch, I gather.
Yeah, certainly. Everybody here hunts,
Yeah.
fishes, loves to
Yeah.
ski. Duncan's a big snowmobiler, and yeah,
Yeah. That's awesome. I think I mentioned last time my son's going to go to Montana State next year, so
heck yeah,
he'll be up
that's
there in
awesome.
Bozeman, and I look forward to coming up and visiting him a lot.
Heck yeah, yeah, he's gonna love it up here. It's an outdoorsman's paradise.
That's awesome. What a great story. And today you sell mostly online, or is it wholesale, or what's your main sales channel?
We've got so it's kind of, I would say, 60% online.
Mhm.
We've got quite a few retailers scattered around the state, then some down Colorado, California,
Mhm.
New Mexico, kind of that southwestern pocket, and
Yeah.
then moving more to the East Coast.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I feel like it's almost more half and half. Like today, I was just cold calling. That's something you also always have to stay on. Cold calling new prospect retailers, and got a couple more. So that's like the retail game has always been a nice backbone. I kind of look at it as an arm of marketing in a sense.
Mhm.
But the direct to consumer is natural. I think both of them are kind of growing at a consistent rate, so they kind of balance each other out.
Yeah, that's awesome. And did you do a partnership with Guy Fieri? I saw something on
Yeah,
your LinkedIn. Yeah,
yeah, I've got something kind of in the works there, but
it's
gotta.
not official yet.
I'm just not kind of keeping that quiet for now. But
All
yeah,
right.
we've got some cool stuff in the works that we're working on. Really excited about
Yeah,
that.
I could see how a partnership like that could be a game changer.
Yeah, he's an awesome dude. Super cool,
Yeah,
super good guy for sure.
awesome.
Excited to work
And
with him.
then you spent a couple minutes. I think you co-founded Empress of Ghee
Yeah,
with your wife. Is that right?
yeah, yeah. My fiance, we're getting
A
married in
fiance, sorry.
4 weeks.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
awesome.
yeah, it's super. It's been an amazing journey. She just left MSU. She was an English teacher, so that
Mhm.
aids totally into modern day AI usage with college students. It's a total mess. Tell your son not to write all of his papers with it. He'll forget how to learn.
Yeah.
Um, but anyhow, we started that last summer, and I am a big fan of AI. We've got OpenClaw, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of amazing resources for it. But last summer we started the ghee business totally for fun. She's half Indian, and
Mhm.
she was always making ghee around the house, and for a while I had just been jokingly calling her the Empress of Ghee for at least a year before
Yeah.
this, and it was before last year, a couple nights before a farmer's market. We were just BSing, making some ghee, and I was like, "Hey, we should make a pretty big batch and just bring a couple jars to the farmer's market, see
Mhm.
how they do."
Yeah.
And it was a smash hit. People
Yeah.
loved it. We ended up selling out. Kept going back, and we were doing really small batches.
Mhm.
But we wanted to test out if we really had something. Surya's unbelievably creative, so I knew she'd be a great operator and great, person to build this brand with me. Really, her, honestly, and
Yeah.
she would be a great person to build the brand because she
Yeah.
knows it inside and out. And so we just started at the farmers markets, and then this is like 11, I guess a year ago, like next week,
Mhm.
and over the past 12 months, we've got like 29 retailers.
Wow.
We've got, our production's gone through the roof. We've got a commercial kitchen where we have the capabilities to make 1,000 jars a day, which
Wow.
is nuts. I mean,
Mhm.
we only produce a couple days a month right now because it's just
Mhm.
Surya and I. We just
Mhm.
hired an employee, and
Mhm.
it's insane. Yeah, it's like our retail margins are okay. We spend probably too much on sourcing like the best butter we possibly can,
Mhm.
but they're getting a little bit better, and we're our production is there. So anyhow, Surrey's going full time for the ghee business starting this summer, and it's just been growing totally organically. Yeah, it's really cool.
That is awesome. And you said you're getting married in the summer?
Getting married at the end of the month, yeah, in June. All
Oh.
right, yeah, so June 27th.
What a fun time.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited. We've got a lot going on, but it's all really exciting.
Yeah, two entrepreneurs building businesses. That's super cool.
Thanks, man.
Well, Morgan, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for taking the time to chat with me and sharing your story. I would love to learn more about all the crazy background story, but we'll take that when I'm up in Bozeman.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited to meet you up here in person, show you my shop, and have a further conversation then. But thank you so much for having me on the podcast and let me tell my story. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely, man. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.